Hey guys, coming back at you with another rant. I apologize. It's been a month since my eldest one turned 13, youngest one just turned 8. So it got me thinking about the future. And I've got a piece of paper in my hands again. And I want you guys to do your own research. I want you guys to be proactive. I want you guys to question what I'm saying to you if you don't believe it's the truth. Okay? This is my opinion. I want your opinion to resonate far greater than mine. But let me give you some stats and some figures. And I'm going to preface it by saying I'm not a doctor, number one. Number two, I'm not an economist. Number three, I'm not a politician. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. What I am is a human with a heart. But here's the real stats, okay? The US population today, roughly 328 million, is the population of the United States of America, the richest country in the world with the greatest GDP, okay? Of those 328 million, 150 million, so roughly about half, were supposed to receive a check from the IRS for either $1,200 or $2,400, depending on where you stood. There was some income limitations, stipulations. I don't qualify for that, so I'm hoping half of you guys did. But guess how many people are still owed that stimulus check? That is 90 million people still haven't received their first stimulus check. Let's keep going on that. Let's keep talking about stimulus or the lack thereof. How many businesses do you guys think there are in the United States? How many small businesses do you guys think there are in the United States? That number sits at 31 million roughly, okay? Of those 31 million, 80% of businesses, 80%, okay, which is about 26 million businesses are still waiting to get what's called a PPP loan, okay? Now, guess who has received the PPP loan of the 20%? Publicly traded companies, which I never thought would count as a small business, but I just found out it does. So, companies like Ruth Chris, they got 20 million. Potbelly got 10 million. Shake Shack got 10 million. And just so you guys know, Shake Shack currently has about 100 million sitting in cash in their accounts. Okay? They're considered small businesses. They have gotten their money already. Now, all of these companies gave it back because they were publicly shamed. But you know how you shame them even harder? Don't show up to their establishments. Support real small business that is the lifeblood of this country. Let's keep going further on these stats. Do you guys know what the average pay for a teacher is in the United States? I have 2 kids. I preface my conversation saying and talking about they just turned 13 and 8 respectfully. And we're doing their work at home right now because schools are closed. So my appreciation for teachers goes tenfold because I understand now what they're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And if you guys don't believe me, try doing 7th grade pre-algebra and see how smart you really are, okay? And an average teacher makes $34,000 a year. $34,000. That is who is supposed to raise and uplift our community, our next generation, our next group of leaders. They're making $34,000 a year, okay? Do you know how much a publicly traded CEO, average pay of a publicly traded CEO is? It is $14 million. 34,000 versus 14 million. Look at the disparity. Yet, these publicly traded companies, okay, have already received $1 billion. The average CEO of these publicly traded companies is making $14 billion a year, when the average teacher who makes $34,000 a year still hasn't received her stimulus check for $2,400 if she's a family with 2 kids. You tell me, is that right or is that wrong? Now there's some companies that have done the right thing. Amazon, CVS, Target, they gave bonuses. They're paying overtime. Darden, that owns Olive Garden and that owns, I think, Longhouse Steakhouse. They basically created a sick leave fund so that their employees could get paid sick leave. Okay? Bank CEOs, okay, not the average CEO, but big bank CEOs. Average pay sitting right at about 28 million. So about 14 million more than a publicly traded company. And these banks, the same very banks that we bailed out 10 years ago, decided instead of lending to small businesses, the lifeblood of our economy, they lent out to big businesses. Publicly traded companies have received $1 billion already. These big bank CEOs prioritized loans and lent so that they could make even more money from a bailout that they've never paid us back on. As I said to you before, this isn't about being Democratic. This isn't about being Republican. This is about doing the right thing, having the right heart, and having the right moral compass. What's your moral compass? What can you do? Well, you could choose to do nothing. Not use your voice. I've already told you how powerful your voice is. Here in Arizona, our 2 senators, Senator Sinema and Senator McSally, flood them with emails. Let them know how much you are hurting. Because trust me guys, we're all hurting. And we're in this together. Tell them how much you're hurting and tell them how unfair it is for you, their constituents. If you're in a different state, find the senator for your state. Email them. It is their moral obligation to respond back. Shake Shack and all these other companies that I just mentioned should never have gotten $10 million. This is my choice, not yours. This is my opinion. I'm not asking it to be enforced on you. I personally will never go to a Ruth Chris or a Shake Shack because they've taken from you and they've taken from me when they didn't deserve to take. I have one voice, but if you join my voice, we become one power, the power of one. Guys, let's be relevant, let's have humility, but let's use our voice and let's use our own research, our own mind, and let's be impactful. If not for us, let's do it for our kids, let's do it for our grandkids, because our moral compass is broken and we need to fix it with the power of one.